you said Our Lady calls us to this ministry.
Yeah.
I usually think of Christ calling us to a ministry. Talk to me a little bit about how Our Lady calls us to this.
There's special guys that do this. There's special guys. You have to be a little gritty. You got to be a little crazy. You have to be, really anyone involved, but specifically the priest. Make me holy, use me, teach me the truth. If you've asked the Lord any of those three questions, he's going to send Our Lady down and she's going to call you, especially the priest, to do this. But when at Cana, that phrase in John 2:4, there's no more wine. And he says, what is that between you and I? My hour hasn't come, right? That's seemingly a seeming rebuke, right? Therefore, so future Catholics would not give her any reverence at all. First of all, the title Gune, I wrote a doctoral thesis on this, so we could go all day on this, but the title Gune, woman, is the only time in all of Scripture that title is ever used in the vocative by a son to his mother, woman. Like if one of your kids said to your wife, hey, woman,
yeah, right.
I mean, they would learn corporal punishment very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
actually, I have to interrupt. This is a terrible interjection here with this great topic, but there are these, at lunch I'll show you, but there are these YouTube videos that are going around where teenage guys and the mom play a prank on dad.
Yeah.
And this is terrible. I do not recommend anyone do this.
Yeah.
But they punk their dad by the mom and teenage son have a little argument. It's fake. And then the son says, shut up, mom, just to see what dad will do. And these videos are hilarious because dad is disengaged, sitting on the couch, hearing teenage son
he's not listening,
they think he's not listening, but he's just checking out. And then they hear son say, shut up, mom. And dad pops up.
Oh, yeah.
Like a warrior.
Yeah.
And charges the kid. And it's just video after video after video of seeing dad freak out about this. It's hilarious. And it's actually, I kind of love it because it shows, dads still have it in them.
Oh, yeah.
But what's funny is he starts running at the kid and then mom has to jump in and said, we were joking.
Yeah.
They have to stop dad.
Yeah.
And he has to calm back down. It's quite hilarious.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, anyway, so I'll show you some of those.
Yeah, those are funny.
But where were we? I'm sorry.
John 2:4.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So that word woman, it's not a woman.
Woman. It sounds disrespectful. That was the point.
But it's linking to the woman, because we had just started in John 1:1, and the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, right? So we begin in the beginning, just like Genesis. And then there were 3 days, the next day, John 1:24, 34. There's 3 times it's mentioned in John 1, the next day. So now we're on the first day plus 3 days, and now the third day, right? So there's some kind of cosmic new creation imagery going on, as well as other things. Sinai is another one. The day, the third, is the only other time that phrase is used, is Sinai, when God gave the law. So there's a new revelation of God. This is why in the wisdom of the church, this is another epiphany. Just as God at Sinai reveals himself to the people of Israel, and the rabbis saw the wash yourselves, and on the day the third, I will reveal myself. They saw this as a nuptial bath, Israel being wed to God as bride. And so now we have a new creation, a new covenant being brought about, and a new Sinai, a new revelation, a new epiphany, God appearing. And he calls his mother the woman. He doesn't call her by her name. She's never mentioned by name, but she's first billing, right? There's no mention of the bride. She's the first one mentioned. There was a wedding feast of Cana, and the mother of Jesus was there, right? And the mother of Jesus this. So she has the top billing. The father, as you know, the father is in charge of, the husband's in charge of the wine, the feast, right? Jesus is mistaken for the groom. He's asked to give the wine. There's no more wine. And so he says to her in English, what is this between you and I? Right? But the Greek is ti amoi kai soi. You could read it as a dative of possession. What is to me is to you. What is mine is yours. And the second half of that question could be read as an interrogative expecting an affirmative answer. My hour hasn't now come, has it? Has my hour now come?
It's a real question.
It's a real question.
So as opposed to a challenge, which we almost
it reads like a challenge, but what the literal Greek is, what is to me is to you. What is mine is yours. Right? has my hour now come?
It's almost like we are of one mind.
Right.
Has my hour come, Mom? You know, it's kind of like that.
Right.
Powerful.
Has my hour now come?
Right.
And she initiates the hour in John's gospel as the passion, death, and resurrection. I mean, his suffering. And at that moment, and she turns, and I could show you in the Greek where there's no hesitation. She turns immediately and says, do whatever he tells you. Just like at Sinai, whatever he says, we will do, right? That covenant affirmation. And so, but she does this knowing that the hour, at this point, she will be physically separated from him, and he will begin his public ministry. He is now Epiphany, the appearance. He's now going to be publicly outed, and now beginning his own death.
Right, which the passion really, in a sense, begins.
It begins now at her instigation and with no hesitation. That's the brilliance of it. Zero hesitation. Zero hesitation.
It's incredible. So
and she's the new Eve too. I mean, all that is packed up in there as the second Eve.
So what's Mary's role in calling a priest to being an exorcist? Why is she involved?
Yeah, there's you guys have a great reprint of Alphonsus Liguori's. I'm going to plug Tan here.
Oh yeah, I love
The Glories of Mary.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest.
Yeah, so he plugs. There's one section he quotes. I forget who he quotes, but I cite this all the time when I'm teaching parishes on the Blessed Mother. He said he was talking to his seminary director. He said, "Woe to those seminarians who do not." He would ask them, "Who's your favorite saint?" Right, and it was very indicative, by the way. It's another great topic. Woe to those seminarians that did not have devotion to the Blessed Mother. It was inevitable, he says, that they eventually lost their vocation and left the priesthood. The ones that don't have that devotion to her. And so the ones that are most devoted to her, those are her special sons. You have another great one, Louis de Montfort's True Devotion to Mary. Yeah. And so those are two key books for Catholic. Every Catholic should have the Tan translation and version on their bookshelf, because those are two classics. If you want to understand the depth of it,
Right. Now,
and so she go back to your question.
Right.
She calls who she wants. She knows she likes dirty faces and clean hearts.
Dirty faces and clean hearts.
That's awesome. Who are blessed. But you know what I mean? You got boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dirty faces.
Right,
that are
right,
just
right. They're gritty.
Torn, and then they get a hole in their knee, and they're just rough and tumble, and they're boys.
Yeah.
But their hearts are pure. That's who she's looking for. Those are your best exorcists.
Hey, thanks guys for checking out the Conor Gallagher Show. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, or comment, or whatever you got to do to support it. And I appreciate that very much.